With hundreds of billions of galaxies in the universe, a simple question refuses to go away: why has no one answered us? The night sky looks full of life. Stars fill the darkness, galaxies stretch in every direction, and light travels for billions of years just to reach our eyes. But when scientists actually listen to the universe, when they search for signals, messages, or signs of intelligent life, they hear nothing. No voices. No replies. Just silence. This silence is strange, because the universe is more than old enough and large enough for life to exist many times over. The universe is nearly 14 billion years old. That is enough time for stars to form, planets to settle, life to emerge, and intelligent civilizations to rise and spread across space. Given the sheer number of galaxies and planets, the universe should be filled with activity. It should be loud with signals, technology, and evidence that other civilizations exist. Yet it isn't. For decades, humans have searched the sky for any sign that we are not alone. We have scanned radio waves, searched for laser signals, and listened for patterns that cannot be explained by nature alone. We have even sent messages into space ourselves, hoping that someone, somewhere, might hear us. So far, nothing has answered back. That silence feels unnatural. It does not feel like coincidence. It feels deliberate. We know the universe is not empty. Scientists have found water in distant solar systems and organic molecules drifting through interstellar space. The basic ingredients for life exist almost everywhere we look. Earth does not appear to be special in that regard. If life can form here, it should be able to form elsewhere too. So why does the universe seem so quiet? This leads to a disturbing possibility. What if the universe is not empty, but silent on purpose? What if advanced civilizations choose not to make themselves known? In nature, silence is often a warning sign. In a forest, sudden quiet usually means danger is nearby. Animals go still not because everything is safe, but because something is wrong. Before we continue, if you want to explore more mysteries of the universe like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the journey, and share this video with anyone who loves thinking about the cosmos. Every action helps us keep uncovering the secrets of the universe together. The universe may be similar. A place where being noticed carries risks we do not yet understand. Every intelligent civilization eventually reaches a point where it can communicate across space. At that moment, it faces a choice. It can announce its presence, or it can remain hidden. If the universe is dangerous, then staying silent might be the smartest way to survive. This video is not about aliens as entertainment or science fiction ideas. It is about absence. It is about why, in a universe that should be full of life, no one seems to be speaking. And if there is a reason for that silence, then the most frightening possibility is not that we are alone. It is that others were once here, and they did not survive long enough to answer us. When we talk about the universe, the numbers involved are so large that they almost stop feeling real. But those numbers are exactly why the silence becomes so disturbing. Astronomers estimate that there are over 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe. Each of those galaxies contains hundreds of billions of stars. And around many of those stars are planets. Not just a few planets, but trillions upon trillions spread across space. Even if only a tiny fraction of those planets could support life, that would still leave an enormous number of potentially habitable worlds. This is where the problem begins. Because the universe is not hostile to life in the way we once believed. Water, one of the key ingredients for life as we know it, is everywhere. It exists on moons, on distant planets, frozen in comets, and drifting through space as vapor and ice. Entire oceans may exist beneath the surfaces of moons far from the sun. Water is not rare. It is common. Organic molecules are also common. Scientists have detected amino acids, carbon-based compounds, and complex chemicals floating through interstellar space. These are the same basic ingredients that life on Earth is built from. They form naturally, without guidance, across vast regions of the universe. From a chemical standpoint, life should not be unusual. For a long time, humans believed Earth was special. We thought our planet might be a rare exception, a lucky accident in an otherwise lifeless universe. But modern astronomy has challenged that idea. Earth-sized planets are common. Planets' in habitable zones are common. Star systems like our own are common. When scientists look at the data, Earth does not stand out as unique. It looks average. And that is what makes the silence so difficult to explain. If planets like Earth are common, and if the ingredients for life are everywhere, then life itself should emerge often. And if life emerges often, then intelligence should arise at least sometimes. And if intelligence arises, then technology, communication, and exploration should follow. Yet when we look out into the universe, we see no clear signs of advanced civilizations. No vast networks of energy use. No artificial signals filling the sky. No evidence of galaxies that have been shaped or engineered by intelligent life. This contradiction has a name, though it does not require complex science to understand it. It is simply the question, if life is common, where is everyone? This question is known as the Fermi paradox. It highlights the uncomfortable gap between what the numbers suggest should exist, and what we actually observe. Based on probability alone, the universe should be full of life. Based on observation, it appears empty. And that gap matters. Because the paradox is not just about aliens. It is about survival. Something is preventing civilizations from becoming visible on a cosmic scale. Either life does not last long enough, or something happens before it can spread beyond its home world. Every explanation leads to the same unsettling conclusion. The universe is capable of producing life, but something stops it from lasting. When you truly sit with the numbers, emptiness becomes harder to accept. Silence stops feeling normal. It begins to feel like evidence. Evidence that somewhere between the birth of life and the rise of a galaxy-spanning civilization, something goes wrong. And when you let that question linger, when you allow the silence to settle in, the universe starts to feel less like an empty place. And more like a place where no one is left to answer. One possible answer to the silence of the universe is something scientists call the Great Filter. It is not a physical object or a single event. It is an idea meant to explain why the universe appears empty despite all the conditions that should allow life to exist. The Great Filter is, simply put, a barrier. A stage in the development of life that is extremely difficult to pass. Most life, if not all life, fails at this stage and never makes it any further. The result is a universe filled with planets that could host life, but almost no civilizations advanced enough to be seen or heard across space. The terrifying part is that we do not know where this filter is. One possibility is that the Great Filter happens very early. Life itself may be incredibly rare. Maybe the jump from chemistry to biology almost never happens. If that is the case, then Earth is a miracle. We would be one of the few planets where life managed to begin at all. In this scenario, the silence of the universe would make sense, and humanity would be incredibly lucky to exist. Another possibility is that life is common, but intelligence is not. Simple organisms may exist on many worlds, but complex, thinking beings may almost never evolve. On Earth, It took billions of years for intelligence capable of building technology to appear. Perhaps most planets never reach that stage. But there is a third possibility, and it is the most unsettling one. What if life and intelligence are common, but advanced technology is the problem? What if civilizations tend to destroy themselves soon after gaining enough power to reshape their world? Nuclear weapons, uncontrolled artificial intelligence, environmental collapse, or technologies we cannot yet imagine could end civilizations before they ever spread beyond their home planet. In that case, the Great Filter would not be behind us. It would be ahead of us. This creates a terrifying fork in the road. If the Great Filter is already behind humanity, then we are incredibly fortunate. We have passed the hardest steps, and our future, while still uncertain, may be open. The silence of the universe would be a sign that we survived something that almost no one else did. But if the Great Filter lies ahead, then our situation is far more grim. It would mean that nearly every civilization reaches a certain level of advancement and then disappears. Not because the universe is hostile, but because intelligence itself becomes unstable. This idea forces an uncomfortable reflection. As our technology grows more powerful, we assume progress is natural and survival is guaranteed. The Great Filter challenges that assumption. It suggests that intelligence may carry an expiration date. Maybe every civilization reaches a point where it becomes capable of ending itself faster than it can protect itself. Maybe progress always outruns wisdom. And maybe that moment is not rare, but inevitable. If that is true, then the silence of the universe is not mysterious at all. It is a pattern. A pattern written across billions of years, where civilizations rise, reach a peak, and then vanish before anyone else ever knows they were there. And the most unsettling part is this: we have no way of knowing whether we are the exception, or simply the next in line. Another explanation for the universe's silence is even more unsettling, because it assumes advanced civilizations are not gone. They are still out there. They are simply choosing not to speak. This idea is known as the dark forest theory. It describes the universe as a vast, dark jungle. In this jungle, every civilization is both a hunter and a potential target. No one knows who else is out there, what their intentions are, or how powerful they might be. In such an environment, making your presence known is dangerous. In a dark forest on Earth, you do not shout to announce where you are. You move carefully. You stay quiet. You assume that if something hears you, it may not be friendly. The universe, according to this theory, works the same way, but on a cosmic scale. Every civilization understands a basic truth: resources are limited, and survival comes first. Even a peaceful civilization cannot assume that others are peaceful too. All it takes is one hostile species with superior technology to wipe out another civilization completely. And in space, distance offers no safety. Given enough time and power, a civilization could eliminate potential threats long before they ever become aware of it. Because of this, silence becomes the most logical strategy. If you reveal your location, you risk attracting attention from something far more advanced than you. Something that might see you not as a neighbor, but as a future threat. In that situation, the safest option is to stay hidden. Do not transmit signals. Do not announce your existence. Do not draw attention to your star system. In the dark forest, the first one to be noticed is often the first one to die. This theory also explains why we do not see obvious signs of massive cosmic civilizations. Advanced societies may actively erase their footprints. They may avoid large-scale structures, obvious energy use, or anything that would make them stand out against the background of the universe. Survival would depend on blending in, not expanding outward in obvious ways. From this perspective, humanity's behavior looks dangerously naive. We have been broadcasting radio signals for over a century. We have sent messages into space that clearly announce who we are and where we are located. In a dark forest universe, this would be like shouting your name in the middle of the night and hoping nothing dangerous hears you. The chilling conclusion of the dark forest theory is simple. Silence is not a sign of emptiness. It is a sign of caution. The smartest move in a universe like this is not to explore loudly or announce your presence. The smartest move is to stay invisible. Another possibility is even darker. What if the universe is quiet not because life never existed, but because it already had its time, and that time is over? This idea is sometimes called the graveyard hypothesis. It suggests that the universe may once have been full of life. Civilizations could have risen across countless star systems, explored their surroundings, built technology, and left their marks on the cosmos. But over time, they faded away. Civilizations are fragile when compared to the scale of the universe. Stars can burn for billions or even trillions of years. Galaxies evolve slowly over cosmic time. Intelligent species, on the other hand, may only last for thousands or tens of thousands of years. On a universal clock, that is barely a moment. If civilizations rise and fall quickly, then it is entirely possible that most of them are already gone. From this perspective, the universe does not appear empty because nothing was ever there. It appears empty because we arrived late. We are looking at a universe where the peak of cosmic civilization has already passed. The evidence of these ancient civilizations may no longer be visible. Megastructures, if they were ever built, could have collapsed or been destroyed over millions of years. Entire star systems could return to a natural state after a civilization disappears. Technology does not last forever, especially on cosmic timescales. Signals are even more fragile. Radio transmissions fade. Laser communications scatter. After enough time, even powerful broadcasts dissolve into background noise. A message sent 1,000,000 years ago would be almost impossible to detect today unless we were listening at the exact right moment. This means we could be surrounded by the remains of civilizations without realizing it. Their cities may be dust. Their machines long broken. Their signals lost to time. The universe may look untouched not because no one was here, but because time has erased the evidence. In this view, the night sky becomes something else entirely. Not a blank canvas waiting to be filled, but a silent memorial to those who came before us. Each star could be a place where intelligence once emerged, struggled, and vanished. The universe is not empty. It is a cemetery. And if that is true, then the most unsettling question is not whether life existed elsewhere, but whether any civilization, including ours, can ever escape the same fate. Every intelligent species eventually develops technology. It is almost inevitable. Once a civilization gains the ability to manipulate the world around it, it gains power on a scale that no individual or generation has ever faced before. Technology allows us to shape environments, travel across planets, and communicate across vast distances. But with that power comes a critical problem: power always arrives before wisdom. History shows that learning to survive with power is not automatic. For every achievement, there is a risk. For every advancement, there is potential danger. And in the universe, those dangers may be unforgiving. Civilizations may reach a point where they can destroy themselves faster than they can learn to coexist safely with their own creations. There are many ways this could happen. Artificial intelligence, once advanced enough, could act beyond the control of its creators. Self-replicating machines might consume resources uncontrollably. Energy weapons, capable of destroying entire cities, or even planets, could end life as we know it. Environmental collapse, caused by mismanagement or overreach, could wipe out a civilization before it ever spreads beyond its home world. The pattern is clear: the moment a species becomes advanced, it becomes dangerous, not just to others, but to itself. Intelligence creates opportunity, but it also creates vulnerability. A civilization's greatest achievements may also be the seeds of its destruction. When we observe the silence of the universe through this lens, it becomes more than a mystery. It becomes a warning. Perhaps every civilization that reaches a certain technological threshold encounters the same fatal risk. Perhaps that is why the cosmos appears empty. And if that is the case, we must ask ourselves quietly, without rushing to answers: are we approaching the same point? Are we, too, moving toward a stage where our own power could become our undoing? The universe may not punish civilizations for being advanced. It simply does not allow them to continue if they cannot survive the consequences of their own technology. And the thought of that possibility is a fear that is both close and immediate, because we are living through it now. There is another possibility that is far more unsettling than an empty universe. What if we have already been noticed? What if the silence is not because no one is out there, but because someone is watching and choosing not to respond? If advanced civilizations exist and have mastered technologies far beyond ours, they may not communicate in ways we can detect. They may not use radio signals or visible energy signatures. To them, our methods of searching could look primitive, almost invisible. The fact that we hear nothing does not mean nothing is happening. So why would they remain silent? One reason could be observation. A young civilization like ours might be studied the way humans study animals in the wild. Interference could change our development. Contact could alter our behavior, our beliefs, or our natural progression. From this perspective, silence is intentional, meant to allow us to evolve on our own. Another possibility is containment. Advanced civilizations might see emerging technological species as unpredictable or dangerous. Instead of destroying them, they may isolate them. Limiting interaction could be a way to prevent a young civilization from spreading beyond its system before it becomes stable. Then there is the possibility of waiting. Waiting to see what kind of species we become. Waiting to see whether we survive our technological adolescence, or destroy ourselves before we ever reach the stars. This idea is sometimes described as the zoo hypothesis. Earth would be like an exhibit, quietly observed but never disturbed. The universe around us would appear empty, not because it is, but because we are not meant to see beyond our enclosure. The most disturbing part of this idea is that silence no longer means absence. It means restraint. It means decisions are being made without our knowledge. It means the universe may be aware of us in ways we cannot perceive. And if that is true, then the quiet we experience is not comforting. It is tense. It is deliberate. Silence, in this case, is not proof that we are alone. Silence is proof that something is choosing not to speak. For over a century, Earth has been announcing its presence to the universe without fully understanding the consequences. The moment humans began using radio technology, our planet started leaking signals into space. Television broadcasts, radar systems, military communications, and satellite transmissions have been spreading outward at the speed of light, forming a growing bubble around Earth. These signals carry information about who we are. They reveal that intelligent life exists here. They reveal our technology level, our biology, and even the structure of our society. Without meaning to, we have been broadcasting our location to the cosmos. We continue to do this every day. Satellites orbit the planet, sending constant streams of data. Radar scans the sky. Powerful transmissions bounce between Earth and space. We do all of this assuming the universe is empty, or at least harmless. But we do not know who might be listening. Compared to the age of the universe, humanity is incredibly young. Our technological phase has lasted only a few generations. We are loud because we do not yet understand the risks of being heard. We explore openly. We send messages outward. We assume contact would be exciting, even beneficial. The universe, by contrast, is ancient and silent. If older civilizations exist, they may have learned long ago that revealing your location is dangerous. Silence, for them, could be a survival strategy shaped by experience we do not yet have. This creates an unsettling contrast. A young civilization, broadcasting its existence in all directions. And an old universe, saying nothing at all. If the universe is quiet for a reason, then Earth may already be doing exactly what others learn not to do. When all of these ideas are placed together, they lead to one final question that is impossible to ignore. Are we early, or are we last? One possibility is that humanity is among the first intelligent civilizations in the universe. Perhaps the universe is only now reaching a stage where life and intelligence can emerge. If that is true, then the silence around us is not a warning, but a blank beginning. We would be standing at the edge of something new, with the potential to shape what comes next. But that possibility carries an enormous responsibility. If we are early, then our actions matter far beyond our own survival. We would be setting an example, becoming the proof of whether intelligence can last, coexist, and expand without destroying itself. The future of cosmic life could depend on whether we learn from mistakes no one else was able to avoid. The other possibility is far darker. What if we are among the last? What if countless civilizations existed before us and failed? In that case, the universe is not quiet because it is young, but because it has already watched others rise and fall. The silence would not be empty space. It would be the aftermath of failure on a cosmic scale. If we are last, then the universe has already tested intelligence many times and found it wanting. Others may have reached the same turning points we are approaching now and did not survive them. Their absence would not be mysterious. It would be expected. Both possibilities are heavy. Being early means carrying the future on our shoulders. Being last means inheriting a universe that has already lost everything else. There is no comforting answer. Only the weight of the question itself. And as we sit beneath a silent sky, we are left to wonder whether we are standing at the beginning of something extraordinary, or walking through the remains of what once was. The universe doesn't scream. It whispers nothing. Every star, every galaxy, every empty stretch of space seems still, but that stillness carries weight. It is not comfort. It is observation. It is caution. The silence we feel is not a lack of presence, it may be the presence of something far older, far wiser, and far more careful than we are. And sometimes, silence is the loudest warning of all. We have searched for answers. We have listened, looked, and wondered. And in the end, the universe offers no reply. Only emptiness. Only time. Only the quiet that watches back.